Locked and loaded for another episode. Fremont Radio here, the Intellectual Radio. Just charge your coffee real quick, and we're going to continue to make some history, take some history, and tape some history, y'all. That's what it is. All right. Okay, right on. Right on. Right on. I tell you, matter of fact, you know what? Let me try something. Let me call. Okay, we go with this. Y'all bear with us, but yeah, we say cub with us, y'all. Who catch my breath?
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to...
I don't do no commercials for nobody. As soon as this goes, we're going right into it, y'all. The spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. My brother, Andy Johnson, Malaikum Assalam, free them all. You, my brother, yes indeed. London Black News, free them all. See you in the building, y'all. Let them know we get ready to lock and load again to make history, take history, and tape history, y'all. That's what it is. We come from all directions, y'all. We on Intellectual Radio. We on StreamYard Live on YouTube. Subscribe and tap in to Chairman Fred Jr. on YouTube Live. Real talk. Mars Hayes in the building. Quabbin in the building. I think I'm supposed to be in Gary May 28th. Put that on y'all calendars, May 28th in Gary. Myself, Senator Eddie Melton, watching Judas and Black Messiah, doing a dialogue, discussion, you name it. It's going down. That's what it is.
Free them all, live and direct.
Free them all. That's what it is, y'all. Here's up ass with fist clench, y'all. Again, we coming more than double-breasted, y'all. We on Facebook at Fred Hampton. You know what I'm saying? We on Instagram at official Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. We are on Intellectual Radio live on YouTube and other streams. We are also on YouTube and StreamYard at Chairman Fred Jr. That's Chairman Fred Jr. It's a weekly episode of Free My Radio, hosted by yours truly, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and Robin Allen, a.k.a. the Lady of Rage. I think she's gonna be tapping in with us a little late today. It's a weekly program of Black Panther Party Cubs. For those who are not familiar with that, that's the BPPC. Again, the Black Panther Party Cubs. It's a tough act to follow. We attempt to not only walk in the footsteps, but as opposed to the footsteps, the Panther Paw steps of that phenomenal revolutionary organization that been the Black Panther Party, y'all. Again, let's make history, take history, and tape history. You know what I'm saying? Y'all forgive me. I don't like doing no commercials for these jokers, but look, I had to grab some quick coffee real quick, and I don't know how long we keep running off of this coffee, but we gonna keep doing what it do. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Right on, Marshall. Hatton in the building. You know what I'm saying? Still moving the groove. We had a phenomenal. We still riding the cloud thousands from phenomenal. Was that this past Wednesday? In case for young King Yada, I tell you how smaller world this is. You know. It's brought to my attention, you know what I'm saying. I know his father very well, you know. In fact, I just spoke at his first cousin Quabini's homegoing, funeral services. Was it a month ago? And I mean, we jam, the family, you know what I'm saying. That's man, and it's a lot of times you get to do these tragic. These tragic conditions and these circumstances, ironically, the same system that's responsible for dividing us up brings us back together. So I said, wow, and I was kind of catching on. I seen some of the people that that was coming in. I said, wait a minute. And a lot of times, and I'd say this too, because you hear me talk about the stats and facts and numbers, and regards to people locked up or those who. Children, in particular, but murdered, in the streets, Chirac and other places, and sometimes, people may be under the impression that this is some sort, we just giving these numbers, and we always try to give a political analysis, but the reality is there are personal connections. You dig with these dynamics, you know what I'm saying? But this is again, it's a microcosm of what's happening in every colonized community throughout the world, and we say the people's pain reflects. And whether we're talking the case of Kenyatta locked up, whether we're talking about the case of I just got word now. I think I don't know how many people shot. Hopefully not murdered, but on 69th and Paulina, south side of Chicago, constant ban. But you know what I'm saying? The numbers that you hear, the numbers, 19 shot, 5 dead. I mean, people be in prison, and it's kind of like organizing too. You just can't talk about the actual membership. You have to talk about, that which comes attached to it. The impact on the families, the impact on our communities. I use that analogy. Park talk about Brenda got a baby, and just the whole trickle down impact on our communities. So the deal is we have to tie all these contradictions in regards to organizing. Y'all get locked and loaded, y'all. Again, you know what I'm saying? Bear with me, better yet, say club with me, man. 929-477-3785. We're going to have Brother Cam Howard going to be tapping in with us next week, I believe. We're talking about, in particular, about that reparations. And, that's a term many people have heard in regards to other communities, you know what I'm saying? Victims of Auschwitz and Dachau in Nazi Germany. And, you know what I'm saying? And, the resources and other, not just the resources, but the acknowledgement of atrocities, that occurred to people, the attempt, and you never can repair it, but the attempts, the financial, the land question, and again, the acknowledgement, and it put, it really, because if nothing else, to be able to put in the correct context why, the impact of, when you talking about the gas chambers in Nazi Germany, when you talking about some chemical plant that impacted one generation, and you see, 3-4 generations down the road, you're having birth defects. It's important to say, wait a minute, why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? Because I think, many people have a reactionary assessment, and I was just commenting to someone the other day. I said, it's something in regards to, like, even with our, black people in particular, it's like we force in many cases. We see it, whether it be the damage, whether it be certain actions or inactions of people. It's a reactionary assessment. It's like this person just this negate. I mean, you don't. That's not even the procedure with dogs. Like there's a pedigree that you say, okay, where's this dog's lineage? Where does the dog come from? When you go purchase a car, a vehicle, it's not just a question. Okay, this is a Ford, this is a Tahoe, and you say, wait a minute, where was this vehicle at? And in 2008, whatever. So what you mean? It's water damage. We need to know, was it down in New Orleans? You know what I'm saying? Regards, was it around the hurricane? Which we refer to as Hurricane America. But these are they're taken into account. You know what I'm saying? It really, and again, it doesn't take away. It doesn't fix the car, but it at least acknowledge and say, okay, wait a minute. So you go back and say, why is this part rusting out so easily? Oh, this the past damage. You know what I'm saying? Or this person, what's their context of having, seeing, stable families, a stable organization. You will be surprised. I mean, in our community, like generations of people, you know what I'm saying, who've never had men or never had women. I'm talking about generations, like literally. You know what I'm saying? And look at how normalized it is, and you know what I'm saying. And again, and then in the reactionary assessment that people come with, like I'm gonna be the mother and the father, and then someone is who has do the damage control. I think it was Frederick Douglass that said that. I'm paraphrasing him. It's easier to rear children as opposed to repairing broken adults. This is Frederick Douglass that said this. You know what I'm saying? To rear children correctly, as opposed to repairing broken adults. I've said a number of occasions. I said, I sympathize with some of the leadership in the Black Panther Party. I met some of these cats as adults, older people. I said, imagine the drama that cats to do with them in their younger ages. And again, this is no putting the onus responsibility on the individual, but the struggle to have a objective analysis. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. We live in the record on Freedom All Radio, in the spirit of making history, taking history, taping history. Red in the building, Freedom All. So I'm telling you, in the building, right on Freedom All, Patar, Freedom All, right on. Happy birth anniversary. Okay, Minister Farrakhan. Okay, right on. Yes, indeed. The free march the building right on top. Yes, indeed. Right on. So that's we talking about that, but also we're going, again, everything is political. Case of Sunday out there, Cody. Sunday out there, Cody. You know, y'all, many those who familiar with us relate to the mantra of free them all. Even by you states definitions, you talk about freedom fighters, and you talk about struggle. You talk about the Black Panther Party. And in fact, I was going to attempt to read something from Wikipedia, just to show, like, even better understand this. Who the caliber of cats that you're talking about. And they can never actually correctly articulate or sum up who these forces are. I'm saying that because black people in particular, you're dealing with intense contested conditions. So in other words, when you say Jake Winters was a valedictorian at Inglewood High School, it's just not nothing to be taken lightly. When you know what I'm saying, and still to maintain a backbone, because what I'm saying, we talk about Minister Doc Satchel, the Deputy Minister of Health, Illinois chapter, what I'm saying, on the college campus, and to be alive, to be with some backbone, some integrity, to be, because the reality is every day, this system is chipping away at your childhood, your womanhood, your manhood, your humanity, and then to make that step, that advanced leap, to be conscious, to be clear that you are held captive. You know what I'm saying? You in a colonized community, and to be able to, as Minister U.E.P. Newton had says, to be able to take the bourgeoisie skills and make them work in the interest of the masses. To be able to take the bourgeoisie skills and make them work in the interest of the masses. Because in many cases we have the reversal. There's a reversal. Well, in Africa, what they refer to as the brain drain. Our best skills and talents are taken from us, and applied to the ruling class. Individuals, again, from those Clark Squire, Sunday out at Coley, many people may be familiar with the case. If those are not, check it out. Zaid Shakur, these are different names people should be familiar with. Asada Shakur, so the infamous New Jersey Turnpike, the attack that state waged on them, and then even it's like the dynamics is however you want to go with this. Bake it, boil it, or fried. However you want to go with this. Whatever side when you start talking about the different, you put in context of the time, the different dynamics of of the case, what happened, the love for the people, their past, because again the humanity of these individuals we're talking about, who, by their own standards, they talk about student at Nassau, and in fact, it was said, I forgot what event I was at. It was brought to my attention that Sunday out at Coley, like even in school, he had actually the guy. What's the guy's name who they say was supposed to be one of the first, Neil Armstrong, who's supposed to be this U.S. says one of the first individuals say, land on the moon. And so, many people can debate, say, well, some people say that was staged or not, whatever the case may be. This was definitely a phenomenal individual within, the ruling class, their demographics. You dig what I'm saying? So Sunday out of Coley was supposed to, actually, geometry and other dynamics was supposed to taught them this, and this is important to point out because you're talking about individuals who, in many cases, have who could have quote unquote been successful, quote unquote. It's by state's definition, which we shooting dice with that, but the reality is many of them. Then again, I say maybe they could not have been, because the deal is success is not only defined because success is not defined by your skill set in this system, but. The deal is what you have to give up. Or many cases people don't even come in with it. They don't even have it, and the state is able to smell that. But again, you look at the cases of Chairman Fred prior to becoming deputy chairman of Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. I remember some individuals at the Hampton House yesterday, and they were like, "Whoa, I didn't know he went to Triton College." They was like, I didn't want, and you get and people be surprised because there's this misnomer, this propaganda, you know what I'm saying, about, that of revolutionaries, and there are, don't get me wrong, there are some cases of, like in any arena, so whether it be, the people's army, the state's army, where individuals have no other choice, you know what I'm saying, and they this is like their last resort, and it's really not a proactive, concerted effort to engage on the side of the battle that they're engaged in. In many cases, it's just well, I'm happy to be here, so whether it be on either side of Russia, whether you know what I'm saying, or either side, you know what I'm saying, the U.S., whether the people of the state. In fact, the Panther Party had a term, jackanape, but nape, that it's not. You're not, you know what I'm saying, you may fight, and it's not, your allegiance is neither with the people nor the state. This is important. This is to take in. A lot of times people say, well, we all going to be this. Doesn't make a difference as long as you fight. Some people take the position it doesn't make a difference where you get your information from. I recall this struggle I had one time. I was explaining to some of these forces. I said, well, they've been trained. Their information is on, about the Black Panther Party has been given to them, through the white left. And she was like, well, it doesn't make a difference where it comes from. I said, well, some people feel that that baby silverback gorilla, it doesn't make a difference where that milk, in fact, that initial milk, where it comes from, whether it comes from the breast of the silverback gorilla or whether it comes from the palms of the poacher. You know what I'm saying? And some people really can't see that difference. But the deal is, it's there. You know what I'm saying? You can, like in various Spanish-speaking communities, whether it be in Puerto Rico, Cuba, right on. Get thanks. You see, I brought some backup. Get thanks. Right on. Get the coffee on deck. Yes, indeed. And people can pick up in certain conditions. Like, wait a minute, that does not come. That you were taught Spanish through some colonial school, or you learned it through through you know what I'm saying, through the barrios. You know what I'm saying. You able to distinguish that. But I'm giving some background on this on such forces as Santiago de Coli, and it opens the door. It opens a political powerhouse of potential discussion. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, wait a minute. What's the connection with Assata Shakur? What's the you know what I'm saying? Even if you want to go kind of like what Minister U.E.P. Newton talked about. He said, even when they talked about Field Marshal George, excuse me, bear with me, y'all. I'm kind of interchangeable, you know what I'm saying? Just bear with me. We gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Field Marshal, Minister U.E.P. Newton, Minister of Defense U.E.P. Newton talked about the state's, yes indeed, the state's assessment of Field Marshal George Jackson. And those who, I don't know if you Field Marshal George Jackson, the state had all type of propaganda, and this was important to put in context when you talk about the case on New Jersey Turnpike, when you talk about Zaire, when you talk about Santiago de Coli, when you talk about Assata Shakur, not only do you talk about the assault waged on them, you only talk about the case of, they raised up, the whole thing with the New Jersey state trooper, and not only, but you talk about the role the media played, the propaganda, the terms that they used on them. You talk about, it must be inclusive, with Assata Shakur, saying being placed in the all men's jail. All this, again, political. And these are, and that's what, and the deal is, our position is everyone held captive in these modern day concentration camps. They are political prisoners. But however, these forces we're talking about, with the added role, the extra weight that they carry, which the state recognizes is that they have the blessing as well as the burden of being able to sum this up. And that's a crime. That's a crime in this community. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be able to, to be under attack, but to be able to sum it up is kind of like, somebody sticking you up, you know what I'm saying? And you say, well, maybe I just loaned him the money. And maybe he, you know what I'm saying? But to be able to say, no, be able to articulate, not just articulate from that scene, that day right then, not just a reactionary assessment, but to put in political context. This is a crime to this system. You know what I'm saying? Because this is we talking about individuals in an organization that was fighting for, as Field Marshal George Jackson said, fighting for the unborn, the living, and the dead. Minister U.E.P. Newton talked about the state had all this propaganda about Field Marshal George had posted a gun in his afro, all type of stuff. But he said even in that, he attempted to leap over the walls of San Quentin prison. Minister U.E.P. Newton said even in their attacks, even with their information, he said take that. He said you can still see the reverence. You know what I'm saying? How it can be you in regards to Field Marshal George Jackson. Chairman Fred talked about even when they lied on me, even when they said I took $71 worth of ice cream from the Good Human Ice Cream and gave it to the children, to the people. Chairman Fred said they still made me have to be a Robin Hood type of thief. They still show the true nature of a Panther. So even in their propaganda, their slander, you know what I'm saying, when they come with the cases and the attacks, you still, you know what I'm saying, this stuff's so phenomenal. You know, no matter how much mud you sling on it, you see what stands out. You dig, and you look at what they say with the case for Sada Shakur and Sundiata Acoli, you know what I'm saying? And in the discussion of Sada being liberated, you know what I'm saying? This is important that these terms be applied. We have a discussion. You can't switch horses in the middle of the race. In other words, you know, we talk about political prisoners. We talk about, you know, kidnapping and bond and putting the climate, also the climate. You know what I'm saying? Because in fact, Sundiata Acoli had did a phenomenal assessment. One of his phenomenal assessments was in regards to I think this was 1998. And this is important. When I say Sundiata Acoli gave this assessment, do not negate the fact that we're talking about why he was held captive. He's still held captive, 84 years old. We talking about, so this when Mumia Abu-Jamal was giving these assessments, the conditions of being held captive, you know what I'm saying, and still to be able to put you know what I'm saying, to feel a pulse of the people, as Chairman Fred said, even as being a member of the Vanguard Party, myself, put my ear to the ground. He said, feel the beat of the people, to be able to articulate that, to be still, as I said, when I was locked up, I said, I'm not on a furlough, I'm held captive, I'm limited in what we can do. However, recognizing when Minister U.E.P. Newton said that prison is a microcosm of the outside community. Prison is a microcosm of the outside community. The politics, even if you know what I'm saying, it's certain consistencies that transcend generational, geographical, and gender lines. Some people ascribe to a line that can only relate to that situation of women or relate to that situation of men. Some people ascribe to a situation that can only relate to young people or this particular location. You know what I'm saying? The politics, this Panther politics in particular, hold it up to anywhere you want to go. You know what I'm saying? It upped the ante. I was just having a discussion with our Central Committee the other day. It upped the ante. With Field Marshal George Jackson can never be minimized to that of a prison activist. He was you know what I'm saying, to be a field marshal in the Black Revolutionary Organization, and was able to take certain writings from Ho Chi Minh, you know what I'm saying, a GOP, and even to raise the contrast, to point out the differences about even when Commandante Che Guevara talked about the FOCO theory, and he made it raise, so wait a minute, this is why this can be applicable, and this is why this cannot be applicable in regards to the urban ghettos, in regards to the Black community. This is a politic that utilized the philosophical tool of dialectical materialism. Something, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, well, I wasn't there. The deal is, I wasn't there doing chattel slavery. But armed with a politic, all you got to do is say, okay, what year was this? And when you have certain organizations bragging about, oh yeah, we had this, we was rolling. Wait a minute, everybody else, you know what I'm saying, held captive doing chattel slavery. You know what I'm saying? You had to put stuff in context. And we had to be armed with a politics. I tell people, when I walk in a room, I had to be armed with that Panther politics to be able to distinguish through the door who's a mercenary, who's a soldier, you know what I'm saying, friend or foe. You feel what I'm saying? Through the door. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the deal is we do in real time. We're talking about forces who didn't have social media. We're talking back to the summation that Sundiata Acoli had gave out and raised them, and not in absolutes. This is in response to the uprisings that were occurring, in particular throughout the concentration camps, throughout the country. You know what I'm saying? And this was in response to the refusal of the U.S. to rescind the crack sentencing, the disproportionate sentencing with crack cocaine versus powder cocaine. Ironically, one of the proponents that was challenging this, that was talking about, man, this is wrong, was Senator Dick Durbin. And then people was like, whoa, this is great, how this, you know what I'm saying? And that's why like, a lot of people, they'll come in and an omelet be there. And that's all they'll see. And they'll be like, man, this is, you know what I'm saying? This chef made you know what I'm saying, this great omelet. Never, the politics gives us the ability to say, wait a minute, man, don't this thing get this so this comes from this particular organic chicken. Excuse me, this organic egg, the type of food that the chicken was fed. All this is it goes past what you can actually see. I say even our communities. We take it to context. Where you grow up at? What music? What's your dynamic? You know what I'm saying? I remember this one individual that was later exposed. That was in our organization. I recall asking him one day. I literally remember asking him. I said, "Have you ever been involved in anything? A gang, or family, Boy Scouts, any?" And he humbly said, "No." And I said, "You have never been involved in nothing with accountability. Never. They never have that." And he shocked him. He was like, "How do you know this? How do you know this?" You know what I'm saying? And the deal is, the state they do psychological profiles on our community, and we have to be clear on that. Back to this assessment that Sundiata Acoli had provided. Dick Durbin was raised up as the great white hope in regards to this, but all people do is do a little backtrace and wait a minute. It was Dick Durbin who was a proponent pushing initially for the disproportionate sentencing. You follow what I'm saying? So so the deal is, you say, wait a minute, don't just have a reactionary assessment. Who was responsible for setting up again, plain layman's terms. You know, I know people say, what you mean by that? Plain layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? Which is a conversation people are having now. They talk about it on different TV shows now. It's no, a lot of people, that's a conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Well, basically, crack cocaine, which is was in the black community. And the sentencing was more harsh. Even it wasn't because, maybe there were more Virgos in our community, or maybe because we didn't go to school. It was no war on drugs, was no war on guns, was no war on gangs. There is no war on drugs, no war on guns, no war on gangs. That's war on our black asses. That's the reality. That's the reality. And the deal is to come to grips with that in certain stages in the game, whether it be through under such reactionary tenures as Trump or whoever, they'll say it point blank, you black. You black. You know what I'm saying? And again, the Black Panther Party, upped the ante, not just to give it in a race nationalist question, and it's a race nationalist assessment, but the political context. We talk about political prisoners. People say, well, I don't understand how this person a political, this person a political prisoner, this person a political prisoner. We correlate that to the packed conditions in Cook County Jail to the packed slave ships. We correlate that, the bounty that was placed on the head of Harriet Tubman to the bounty placed on the Assata Shakur today, as we speak. Back to this assessment, this summation that Sundiata Acoli gave. He talked about people were questioning what's the deficiencies, what's the shortcomings in regards to the uprisings that happened. You've seen the climate of, the Pontiac. We talked about the Pontiac 17 case before. We talked about Attica. It was common. It wasn't just something that they didn't say, okay, put that out. It was a climate where it was common. It was like second nature. And not just within the camps. The connection to the community was there. It was a climate, which I said about last week. I mentioned last week, where the people had related to the sentiments of William Thoreau had wrote in Civil Disobedience, where the people related to the position that in an unjust society, again, in an unjust society, the only place for a just man, we're going to paraphrase, a just man or a just woman was prison. How you view that? The only place, check that out. This was a piece called Civil Disobedience by William Thoreau, in which he had said in an unjust, a society that's not just, the only place for a just man, and we're going to paraphrase, a just man or a just woman is prison. That impacted how you view prison uprisings. That impacted how you view visits. That impacted how your children looked at those who were held captive. That impacted how you assessed Jonathan Jackson, 17-year-old, walking up a Marion County courthouse, grab Rochelle Q. McGee and telling Judge Heaney and the rest of them, saying, man, along with William Crystal and others saying, man, John McClain, that man, gentlemen, I'll be taking over from here. What what embodied a 17-year-old man child That gives you so you have questions like, well, how were these people so young back then? The type of conversation that embody how you view relationships, how you viewed your age, how you look at 30-year-olds as being not only were we being wiped out, we were clear we were being wiped out. There was no middle. There was the climate did not allow some individuals to come with some liberalism and say, well, no, we're gonna, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We just passing away. It was clear. They was the state, the turn. It was a draft. They were saying go to jail or go fight. Nixon said campaign for law and order. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where the Panther Party heightened the Constitution to the point where the pigs themselves recognized themselves as pigs. You did? So back to Sunday session that Sundiata Acoli gave, again, while he himself was held captive and still held captive. I want to point that out too, because a lot of people we're talking about, none of y'all have seen the posters saying, bring Sundiata's coming home. And I'm damaged. I want, you know what I'm saying? I'm holding my breath because again, Sundiata Acoli. In words, you know what I'm saying? We this man who by any other standards, you know what I'm saying? The memory, we have to remember these forces, you know what I'm saying? You look at other communities where they track people down and they contribute, you know what I'm saying? Say, wait a minute, you involved in this atrocity in Nazi Germany. We have to remember those who stood and fought for us, you know what I'm saying? Who stood up, who called the question, and still while they're held captive, still, you know, and man, 84 years old, writing this assessment, talking about the contradictions in the outside community. We definitely are open arms. We waiting on Sunday. Man, we would not ease up one bit. You know what I'm saying? I remember the day I got the word, I was to be released. Even coming out of there, I had my head up, you know, my guards up, you know, so cautious, because I know how this system gets down, and I really didn't even like give a breath of release until I got, you know, to a certain part of the community. So it's an old saying with the indigenous community, say, you know, white man speaks with forked tongue. So we waiting, you know what I'm saying, this, and we want to be anticipating the welcome home of Sundiata Acoli, who broke down this, who summed up the shortcomings of the uprisings that happened throughout the camps, and it happened as opposed to the uprisings that was happening throughout the camps in the community, how it was connected. He said because that community support was imperative. It had to happen, and the conscience is one thing for people to be getting down, but to be able to make that connection to us outside to the people. That's why we have one prisoner, one contact. You did. We want y'all to be gearing up, putting together the packages to welcome Black home for Sundiata Acoli. We want to, you know, it's like we anticipating it, but it's like you've been in a damaged relationship. You say, okay, it's gonna be all right. You know, it's good. We finally get, but you say, hold on now, don't release that key yet. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been, you know what I'm saying. We done got some victories here and there, you know what I'm saying, and it's not you know what I'm saying, but we want to make sure keep our guards up, and you know what I'm saying, keep this man this keep the heat on the heat on the streets, keep to his feet till his feet hit the streets literally, and to his feet hit the streets literally. Sundiata Acoli is a major asset to African people, true contribution to our people. You know what I'm saying? I can't, and just, I mean, you know, we talk about these political prisoners, we talk about the potential, we talk about the talent, we talk about the one prisoner, one contact. You know what I'm saying? We have children say, okay, I can't, cases where Sundiata Acoli himself, I mean, they correspond, they sending back, again, these giving information, no access to all the social media and the technology that we on our side would have, but again, the potential that we have to look at this in war context. They have snatched up some of our phenomenal brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? And who are able to sum this up. We need to tell our children about Sundiata Acoli. We need to know who this is. You know what I'm saying? This needs to be common conversation. You know what I'm saying? Rob, man, I pray, man, you on our mind and our heart. I hope you're feeling better, but man, my brother, we been checking you out, man. You on our mind and our heart, brother. We've been following up with you, man. You know you're going through a lot. You on our mind and our heart, no doubt about it. Sundiata Acoli, make it to this discussion. Bring it up in church. You know, what's the status on Sundiata Acoli? You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I understand he's not released as of yet. Ain't supposed to be, the New Jersey, according to their own laws, they're on what they say. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be released. They're on the parole. The Supreme Court has supposed to grant it. The release. And this, a few years back, I mean, we got the hard hitting news. HARD HEART. I remember one time, I think it was a 100-year hit. I forgot what it was. It was a big hit. I may get the numbers mixed up, but in fact, it was so traumatizing. I may, you block trauma out. I may have blocked it out, but I remember that it was a big hit that he got. So this is inspiring. This is inspiring. But again, we need to know who this is. We need people to start getting in Welcome Black. When I say even poor, it's a statement. It's a statement. We don't. When he touched down, we'll find out. Who directly to get this. We want to get it directly to. To him to help get back in the communities. Get up. It's a statement. The poor set some resources, set some money aside. So we're gonna feel. So as soon as he touched down, that's not even a concern. You know what I'm saying? So be putting that to the side right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like be on go. Be on go. You know what I'm saying? Put the finances aside. And so okay, bam. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to roll to. I debated today on how, even with the flyer, on how to do the flyer. I do this all the time. We do this all the time. I struggle with comrades. Be like, man, last minute, change the flyer. I switched this around. I didn't want any text on it. We have to up the ante. You know what I'm saying? Again, that people have to. Has come some stage in the game when you see certain images, you know who it is. You look at. I did the show with young brothers the other day. Cap One. Excuse me. No Cap. Y'all forgive me. No Cap. And they had images of people from Chicago, legends. You know what I'm saying? And in certain faces, so you pose a no. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And you want to emblazon, you know what I'm saying? Like even the different cats in the streets, they have their different representatives in their shirt, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be Mr. Larry Hoover, Chief Malik, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Or certain colors are worn, adorned. People know, okay, that's that. It's certain times we have to get to the stage up the ante. People, that face Sunday out at Kohler, we should know it. That's who was on our flyer. That's who was on our flyer. That's what we should know. You know what I'm saying? I should tell a lot of young cats in the community, hey, dig, man. I say, if we ain't had nothing else, I can understand. You gotta, grab a, Al Capone, whatever on your shirt. Dude, we got some go-getters, man. That's from we got some living legends, man, that you can relate to, man. Dig talk. And Sunday out at Coley is one of those, man. It's one of those. You know what I'm saying? Y'all check up on these forces, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been fortunate to get some, man, Jerry Odinga Dunnigan back out, say Cool Odinga back out, but the stuff that they've been through, the stances that they've taken, you know what I'm saying? And again, these are not, they could be, as opposed to the term role models, we like to use the term real models. We live in the record Freedom on Radio. This is Conrad, give me a heads up. We have any callers in queue? I might check my cold coffee. Well, now I'll go this now. Oh, that heat kicked in on us today for real. Hey, side note, anybody got any air conditioners? Driving better Hampton House because man, I got a surprise today. I said something ain't gonna never come here, and that the old air conditioner conked down on us. One thing is another. We ain't tripping. Yesterday, the chairman, the water heater busted. This happened. Man, listen, we ain't. Hey, it's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? We didn't. Hey, we done kiss the casket, tango with torch, and dance with death, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, in words of Chairman Fred, everything gonna be all right once everything gets back in the hands of the people, y'all. So we gonna, you know what I'm saying? Let us say small things to giants, man. Sister Cameron, we have any callers in queue?
Freedom All, Brother Chairman. We have Mama Condi on the line. Freedom All.
Freedom All. Welcome to Freedom All Radio. I'm going to check my cold cough, then I'm going to come back to this. I thank you, my sister, right on. I was kind of scared to try this, all this names they get on this.
No officer.
Freedom All, welcome to Freedom. Is she on?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We hear you now, loud and clear. Right on. Welcome.
Oh, excellent. This is Elder Mama Condi, family and friends.
Welcome as always. Welcome as always. Long time no hear. Welcome to Freedom On Radio. Good to hear you on Congress. It's always good to hear you. Right on. Welcome. How are you? How are you?
Oh, it's a struggle, trust me, and I'm holding on by my fingernails, but I'm determined.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
still here, and I'm still swinging.
Right on. Right on.
And I intentionally hit number one tonight. Usually, I call and I listen,
Right
and I
on.
don't really say much. But because you were talking about one of my big brothers, Sundiata Acoli, I had to call in. You mentioned Asada and you mentioned Zaid. We go back. Zaid and Brother Sundiata used to come to Center of Working Knowledge. It was an independent African-centered school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on 60th Street Southwest. And they used to come in and spend time and communicate and do workshops and classes with our students. And, they were just beautiful. The sister who was the head of the school was one of my big sisters, Mama Nalo Talib. And when that incident on the highway happened and Zaid was murdered, my sister wrote a song. I performed it and I arranged it. And I want to share it as a salute to Sundiata, Asada, and Zaid Malik. It's not long. It's about 2 minutes and change.
Go ahead. Go. You got the mic.
Have you heard the name before? Zaid Malik Shakur. Have you heard the name before? It was the year of 1940 on the 6th of June. God planned all our destiny. Zaid stepped from his mother's womb. Zaid Malik Shakur. Have you heard the name before? He took the stand of an African man. He joined the BLA. For liberty or death is the only way not to be a slave. May 1973, the pigs decided to bust the three. Sundiata, Asada, and Zaid Malik struggled against the enemy. How stupid the troopers in 73 who brought this plight to be. Well, a cop shot at Zaid Malik, shot the cop. They shot Zaid Malik, and it still hasn't stopped. I said, Zaid Malik Shakur, have you heard the name before? Zaid Malik Shakur, have you heard the name before? That's my tribute.
Right on. Revolutionary love and respect. Let me. I'm trying to take us there in regards to climate, time, and discussions, everything. Say politics. Something about images and our the discussions we have and and again, if you will imagine, no social media. I know it's hard for a lot of people to fathom how to pick up these names and the timing and where it's up front, how liberating, how cleansing to be, at least to not be backed up with not only state shit but bullshit. In other words, one thing to be oppressed, but to also to have these Pied Pipers come tell you when something you did wrong. It's a saying over I think it was Auschwitz or Dachau, one of the gas chambers. Literally had people walking in the gas chamber, and it was saying something like, it translated to, Education is the key. If you work hard, literally going into the gas chamber, it was an actual term saying if you this, that's how you get. And people were still going in the gas chamber, still sipping this snake oil. To be under attack, how liberating. And I mean, everywhere you look, I'm talking about. And I mean, not to be engaged in trivial bullshit. To be the type of conversations, the type of songs, the type of terms, the type of names you name children, the type of looks that that even the ruling class had to attempt to copy it. To be able to pick up and to have the gumption, the morale, to say, wait a minute, I don't have to get a recording contract. The people just pick to relate to these names and to identify with these individuals. The man Zayd, and even if you didn't have the opportunity to know them personally. Who not getting no sound? Can, give me some sound check. Okay, face.
I hear you.
Okay, okay. To have this in this type of conversation, and not just, and again, people, the young brother came by the Hampton House, he was asking me questions like, well, how do I get to know this? And how do I, and I was telling him, I said, man, tune in to Freedom on radio. And he said, well, it's days he work. So I said, okay, put up the old broadcast. And I had to catch myself because I was getting drained of keep on trying to, motherfuckers keep trying to force feed, and motherfuckers want to do, a lot of people want to breastfeed these motherfuckers. Dig this here. We turned the communities into classrooms. It was discussions everywhere you went on your relation. You going on a date, you know what I'm saying? What, man, you couldn't even holler at a sister. You talking about some, I mean, one event, one time we had a protest on Chicago Avenue. I forgot what street it was on. I'll never forget this one. Never get out of it. But this one, I remember this situation on this corner. I forgot this brother's name. Murdered by the police on Chicago Avenue or something. I can't remember his name to say, my man. But I remember we was protesting. And I remember this young sister was over there with us. And I remember this other brother across she was trying to holler at her. And I remember her saying, oh, you over there, you better get, ain't shit we can talk about, homie. We fight, the police kill, I forgot the brother's name, said the police killed such and such. And you better get your ass. And man, he was forced to come over there and fake the funk. I remember this brother had some children by two different sisters. I remember both of them out there protesting with us. I remember, it wasn't no trivial discussion or Maury Povich ass, Jerry Springer ass, who baby mama, none of that shit. And there's certain times, certain phenomenons that stick out when you're saying you don't major in minors. That time when I told like the DMX's funeral, when this the sister who the first sister, I forgot the sister's name, with the children. I remember her standing up and her communication with the sister he was with, who had the son. Oh man, speaking of which, his son probably went some medical stuff right now. We had to check up on that. See what can be, whatever. This DMX is the youngest son, some medical issues he's dealing with. I think he's about approximately 4 or 5 years old. But that you get sometimes you get certain phenomenal individuals. But that period, that time, the Black Power movement in the 60s, I'm talking about, uprisings, the common conversation. You can look at, they say during 1800s, when David Walker authored David Walker's Appeal, there was uprising, and people, the naval, they were passing, slipping in letters, the book, when you pass the ship, they'll pass it to you. You know what I'm saying? It was the type of, so that climate. I'm flashing back to when they talking about the UNIA Marcus Garvey. And a young lady was saying, well, she's an older lady now. And she was saying she remembered as a child. She remembered the stand up, they talking about the man, this flag of mine. And the red, the black, and the green, you know what I'm saying? And she talked about all that, you know what I'm saying? Says I'm on Freedom on radio right now. I'm on radio Freedom on. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Because my sound, let me do my sound one time.
I hear you loud and clear.
Right on. 1 second. Let me get this Instagram back up.
Elder Mama Condi, I hear you loud and clear.
And just for you to, how inspiring it is. This is not deep, and that, to stick that, like I'm, the songs, I mean, the type of terms and songs that the party and the atmosphere, the people engaged in, the type of terms is so liberating. And to put in this correct political context, cannot be devalued. Cannot be devalued. Cannot be devalued. We live and direct on Freedom Our Radio. Those names there should be some stains and some brains and some marks and some heart. I mean, Zayd, Sundiata, Solid, and again, where the state can just say, well, these are, some people have to come to the conclusion, wait a minute, these are not isolated incidents. Throughout the world, you talking about, man, China, Vietnam, Africa, man, the big kahuna of capitalism was in chaos. U.S. imperialism was being shook. I'm talking about, man, because in many cases, many other places where the U.S. is tentacles is laying down its oppression, they be like, man, what the black people, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it's a concerted effort, you know what I'm saying, for the state, you know what I'm saying, put up this facade, everything is okay. But you had that climate, the type of, and it forced even the type of music that came out of the mainstream, the type, you know what I'm saying? And but this was common, so this is again a phenomenal, it's a true testimony to the climate, to the times, and that people need to understand. When people come with these, cop these pleas with, man, people don't know, blah, blah. Dig this here. Lenin said what takes people 20 years to learn in ordinary times, they learn in 2 years in revolutionary times. I'm talking about the type of, picking this up, the type of songs, the type of terms that people are relating to. You know what I'm saying? And go look at your crime numbers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the deal is, it's embarrassing being oppressed. Not times you take it in and you end up releasing them amongst each other. We live and direct on Freedom Our Radio Show. Body in the building, nothing but love and respect for you, man. There's a righteous video. Okay, Kwame just there's a righteous video from Tula Shakur on Zayd Shakur and Sundiata Code. Okay, post a link if you can, Kwame. And you get these forces that transcend generations that people, you know what I'm saying, either know about, either relate, you know what I'm saying, because again, this not a fad or a fashion. People say, oh, that was back in the 60s. Some of the constant continuous contradiction that we are faced with. You did, of course. Of course, like got some money now, like got resources and technology, so on and so forth. But the core of capitalism, the core of a system that was birthed and bred of the exploitation, you know what I'm saying, of African people in particular, it continues. It continues. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say that we never stood up. We everything cool. No, the state is not going to tell you about these individuals. You're not going to know. They're not going to give you this during Black History Month. You know, so this is inspiring. It's inspiring. We appreciate that memory, and you know what I'm saying, how it impacted you. I was giving an assessment about the UNIA. The young lady was saying how she remembered when her father would come home from work, how he would put his UNI uniform on, and she say they get on the bus to go to the parade. She say everyone on the bus would look at them, how proud he stood up. She said when they had the stocks for the Black Star Line ship, he would come home, he would tell the children, just touch him. Just hold, just rub. And she said that stuck with her. All the slander that the U.S. government put out there, Garvey misappropriated funds, never telling you about the whole thing about the Negro agent provocateur, the counterinsurgency ways against Garvey, all the stuff that still stuck with her. I remember just touching them. She said the impact that the parades, the father, the family, and you could see the impact, how it impacted her as an old. She was in her 80s or something doing the interview. It's on YouTube. Kwame just put up a YouTube link on Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all he just posted just now. These are things that in many cases may have to go dormant because the climate is not conducive. People can't relate to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people talking about maybe critical with Tupac, like, man, why he didn't tell this guy this and that? What was he doing? You got to put it in context. what climate you dealing with. So, you know, the deal is, you know, to be able to catch certain forces at certain times. So it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And make sure it count, because dealers, they kill motherfuckers for this information. So be very careful with it. A lot of people be telling me, one guy, Chairman, you got to give out to everybody, you know. Did this here? You you a threat. You telling me you have no idea what this is? In the movie Planet of the Apes, with the orangutan tell the other monkey, he say, "Hey man, be cool, man. They don't like no small monkeys." And you go out there and get knocked up on them goofball chimpanzees if you want to. You gotta pick your moves, man. Pick your moves, because in this war, don't let me romanticize this. These names I'm mentioning who stood up, they recognize the contradiction now. You do have those who are against this. You know what I'm saying? You do have those who ain't over no stand-up stuff. So be very clear of that. Some cats cool with picking cotton on the white folks' asses. They're like real talk, literally. They cool with that. We want to heighten the contradiction, you know what I'm saying? Just, okay, what are you aligned to be with? A lot of times they be trying to tell us. A lot of people, no, that ain't what they really mean. So, and it impedes struggle. It impedes other to be able to, because we on a timeline, you know, with time restraints, man. We got, Chairman Fred said, we got to move fast, and we got to move organized, man. You did? You know what I'm saying? It was, this was a climate where they stood up and said, man, hey, man, you ain't, man, when Andy was up, with Deputy Minister of Defense, our pretty bunch of colleagues said, are we clear? There's one Black Panther Party. Most got clear. Wasn't no back and forth. Well, this is how I see it. You had the government also made it clear. They said, no, this, man, we know, this is who we coming at. Okay, that's, no, I ain't up with that. It was a clarity. It wasn't this liberalism, how you see it, you know what I'm saying? And again, Sun Tzu said the cardinal principle of warfare, know thyself and know thy enemy. Our communities have been so destabilized. We, you know what I'm saying, as Flip Wilson said after he made his first $1 million, he knew he wasn't no nigga no more. Then he said, he didn't know what he was. We are bombarded with that. Confused motherfuckers who have no concept what the fuck they are. We had some clarity around here. I told a guy, I think it was Joliet, I forget what Joliet, might have been Joliet, yeah. This guy would go to different schools of thoughts in prisons. First, you know, he walk, you see him, he touched this group, he was known to move around. You could see Temptations had a song called Ball of Confusion. This guy could have been a poster child for this shit. I mean, like literally. You would see him in one group, you know, just really. And I remember telling him one day, I said, hey man, check this out, man. This is the wrong place to be looking for an identity, because this motherfuckers will give you one. He said, Chairman, I see you talking to everybody. I said, oh, I'm clear and they clear who I am. Maybe you need to go up in that motherfucking cell and have a conversation with, you know what I'm saying, with on a one man. I said, go in that conversation, or go in a one man cell and have a conversation with your cellie. He said, huh? I said, go in a one man cell and have a conversation with your cellie. I said, go in a one man cell and have a conversation with your cellie. You. Maybe you need to relate to what Shakespeare said, to thine self be true. This ain't no thing we saying like you got to be an Alcoholics Anonymous. You got to get up and say, okay, my name is John. I have a drinking problem. No. If nothing else, yourself. Go back and say, what do I relate? Go back and look at, I can walk up in the room 2 seconds. Who you relate to, tell. So, you know, be honest with yourself with certain dynamics that you relate to, music, individuals. Say, what's in me, or what's not in me that relates to this? And we have to acknowledge that. And deal is, we got a role for all that shit. A role for all that. Real talk. We live and direct in the spirit of making history, taking history and taping history, y'all. 929-477-3785. We appreciate that powerful testimony. To put in context of that time, you know, because see, what's Imam Khan, if I don't remember that song like that, you know, verbatim like that song. You can see the feel, you can feel the feeling of it. This is a climate, you know what I'm saying, When you had, you would go through through the streets of Detroit, Chicago, you would, Ohio, California, you would hear children picking up certain, oh, I say, you gotta go now, oink, oink, bang, bang, dead pig, free Fred, piggy, wiggy. Oh, these are the type of dynamics. There was common conversation. It wasn't, oh, I ain't know about that conscious shit. It wasn't wait till February to talk about that. It wasn't wait till election time. It was second nature, the songs, the terms we use. You walk up in the store, man, they liberating that shit. It was so common about uprising, fighting back. I mean, soon the police kill somebody, motherfucker knew, oh shit. Yeah. It was second nature. It wasn't even thought about no softball sports players coming in hijacking the motherfucking shit. Then people talking about unity. It was able to be. You had organizations able to have to unite because what they call the weakness. Knock the soft parts off. They had thin the herd. So you get prime. So now we can see who gonna barbecue, who gonna meal do. This is this. You know what I'm saying? Was who? You see who was who? Who was who? We live in the Record Freedom on radio, making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. Connie, you still on that with us, sis? Mama Connie, you still on with us?
Oh, here I am. I'm back.
Anything else you want to give?
I want to, with you, when you were talking about how things were in my generation, I'm 70 now. And in my generation, life was different from how young people are dealing now. In the 60s, where I live in Philly, in North Philly, you go around the corner and there was the Black Panther Party office. You walk further south, 4 blocks, there was the UNIA building.
Just for clarity.
If you walk,
no,
Garvey.
Mark, okay, I just right on.
And when you walk down the street at the opposite corner from the Black Panther Party office, there was the Moors. Grew up in that type of environment. Mm-hmm. I've always been a very creative person. I've written 14 books. I sing in 13 languages. I do all kinds of crafts. If you look at my website, the music is there. The sketch art is there. I did a sketch of your dad laying on the floor in his blood.
What's the web?
Of the helicopter that dropped the bomb on Move. I used to be a sketch artist. I'm blind now. I've been blind for 6 years. But I put my art up for free on my website so that we could keep that creative energy from that time to the present alive. And that's why I pushed one today, because when you're talking about that time and things being meaningful and expressing them in this time in our lives, I have to speak up. I don't have a choice.
Right on.
And I thank you very much for being patient with me, and allowing me as an elder to share what life is now and why it's that way, because of what concrete kinds of substantive principles and energy was shared with us when we were young people. I was a teenager in the 60s, and a lot of us have walked away from who and what we are, what we were. I hear a lot of people say something that is a misnomer. Ex-Black Panther Party member, and I said, whoa, wait a minute, I wasn't at that meeting. Mm-hmm. When did we become ex? Mm-hmm. I never walked away. Still embraced the principles. Where does the ex come from? And it's one of the things that I appreciate. Nope, the revolutionaries that I grew up with, Sundiata and Zayd and your dad and 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 Queen Mother Moore and some of the other brothers and sisters who helped guide me and protected me. You know, there are so many stories of what happened and things that we don't know and how great these people were. The Black Panther Party, they sent two people, one brother, one sister, with me to my mother's house to get permission for me to join. And they protected me. I never was caught at the office ever. And they would dispatch me and other young people like me to other parts of the area, you know, and give us an assignment to do instead of, you know, being at the office when they came and shot up the office and stripped our brothers on the avenue like they did, butt naked. Made nationwide news. I was in the bell tower at the Church of the Advocate, 18th and Diamond, where they had the first Black Power conference. And it's where the Panther Party used to work with the young gangbangers, you know, to get them to back off and realize that no black face was their enemy. And we didn't condemn them for being warriors. We only condemned their target. You know, if you're gonna do that, then you need to be clear about who your enemy is, and that's what we used to do. That's the environment I grew up in.
Yes, indeed.
I raised my children in that environment, and trying to raise my grandchildren in that environment. It's very difficult now.
Yes.
It's extremely difficult now.
Yes, indeed.
There's virtually no personal, you know, that's one of the things that excites me about you. There's virtually no personal interaction. You know, when Chairman Fred sees Elder Mama Condi, he knows her. You know, he greets her, he hugs her, he smiles at her, he's happy to see her. She's got this towering young gentleman that she can look up at. You know, big, strong brother. That's exciting. Everything is on the internet now. You know, so there's no that energy, that stimulation that stimulates our melanin and helps us think clearly and make our synapses fire. That comes from the personal interaction. That's one of the reasons why I think this is a pandemic and not a pandemic, because
I agree.
We are highly melanated people, and when you can't touch each other, you can't stimulate that melanin battery.
I agree.
We can't have the energy. We can't think clearly because we're isolated.
I agree.
And we're dealing with these electronics.
Yes.
It's different now.
Yes.
It's just so different.
I concur. Yes, indeed. Definitely agree. Mama Condi, what's the website? The website you mentioned? Hello.
You know how to spell my name?
Let me say it for the. Let me say it.
K like in Kip.
Yep. K.
H like in
H.
Henrietta. A like in Apple.
K.
N like in Nancy. D like in David. I like in Isabel.
KHANDI.
T like in Paul.
Hold on.
like
Condi. Say one more time.
Like George.
After I, what did you say? After I, what did you say?
P like in Paul.
P. Okay. P.
A like in Apple. G like in George. E like in elephant. S like in Sundiata.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. That's right.
dot net.
.net. Condi Page
It's
.net. And you know, um,
yes.
um,
It's expensive, so nobody should think they can go there and see everything in an hour.
okay,
It's going to
okay,
take days, weeks, months.
yeah.
And it's beat up like I am, but it's there.
Right on. I'll be remiss. Excuse me. Also, May 13th, y'all. I think we talked about it last week. Also, that's the hesitantly use the word anniversary, but the acknowledgement. May 13, 1985. Never forget. Moves dropped the bomb on Osage Avenue. The entire community. Mike Africa Jr. might call in also. Matter of fact, he was just here a couple of weeks ago, live in the studio. Well, let's struggle. Even I just called something.
I heard it.
Yeah, if we can, like even in our alphabets, like when you hear like with our terms, like it's important. Like S is like our alphabet. So we used to have stuff like that. I know the Cubs. We had the U-Troops. We would do this. We got to reinvent. Not reinvent it, but charge that back up. The S is in A is in Africa. S is in Sundiata. You know what I'm saying? B is in little Bobby Hutton. You know what I'm saying? So even that, so like how the repetitiveness, how it impacts the brain. P is in political prisoner. You know what I'm saying? So that we start. So let's struggle also to even do it like that. M is in Mumia. You know what I'm saying? F is in Free 'em all. So let's struggle. Listening audience, let's struggle. People in general, you know what I'm saying, to indoctrinate again the politics in every aspect of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. We live and direct, y'all, in the spirit of making history, taking history. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. As CondiPage.net. Love and respect. Right on. We talking about Sundiata Acoli. Something that no one should, no people should be deprived of acknowledging these real models. We talking about putting together something like that, have it on hold, to welcome black to the community, to reach the funds for them, have that. So when we say go, we know to send it to. So we putting that together. Like how people start, they're gonna do extra hours. They gotta do their Christmas shop, whatever. Putting that to the side, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And check up on Sundiata Acoli. You know what I'm saying? We expecting him to touch down ASAP. We expecting. I'm holding my.
I'm prayerful.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
prayerful
indeed.
that it happens.
Yes.
Look at what happened to Veronza Bowers.
Yes.
We were all ready waiting for him.
Yeah.
And what's it been now? Over 20 years?
Yeah.
We still wait.
Yeah. And I just.
And I don't know if it's called this kind of time when you've done your time, you're released. And they just did not open the doors, Jim and Greg.
Yeah.
They just didn't open the doors on Veronza.
Yeah.
So I'm very prayerful for Sundiata. He's like a big brother to me.
Right on.
He made me cry once. I asked him, did he remember me? Because it had been a while.
Yeah.
And he said, Sister Condi, I'd have to lose all the brain cells I have to forget you. There's been two revolutionaries that made me cry like that. He was one, and General Hamid Utumwa, he was the other. And I asked him a question about my character, and he said, you don't realize you are our Asada. I've never had brothers say such beautiful, romantic, loving things than those two brothers.
Let me touch on that.
Those two brothers.
It's
very uplifting.
Let me touch on that. There are so many setbacks and contradictions in our community. And this is a climate and of opportunity where in the struggle we able to, again, in our personal lives and our political, to be able to have images and dialogue, with each other and how it impacts each other, like in battle, and that's for the best of doing struggle. You know what I'm saying? I just the most beautiful people. And it redefines struggle, redefines, it reclassifies how you assess beauty, how you just somebody with a backbone, a go getter. And that's one thing a lot of people hate about struggle. Like it's about it because a lot of times people have a fear of because the state set definitions. People say that whether it be who they define as beautiful, who they define as leadership, what they define as intelligent, what they define as a structure, and this shakes it up, and it's like, and that it's on our own terms. You look at I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that there are families in California suing TikTok and other social media because of the amount of their children that talk about suicide, trying to commit suicide, because the images of what they see as beauty, and how it's impacted them. And the men and women that our community was, that you look at. I tell people, I say, you look. Your pick. You know what I'm saying? And how people get the images, and and it wasn't people here. It wasn't a trivial, elementary assessment of beauty, or it wasn't. You say, you can acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't limited to just the trivial. Not to negate that physically we are beautiful people. And somebody said on social media as a meme that said if we look like half of the stuff that we've been through, oh my man, could you imagine how we would look? It does not sell us short of this trivial. The beauty, the intelligence, just as opposed to trivial, elementary assessment they give us. I'm trying to say as objective as I can. They were talking about something about the discussion of this Kim Kardashian and another tape other than Ray J. I'm like, and this is the epitome. This is held up for us, and people were not clear. Who come and it state back, the state created, but on our own terms. And like I said, even we have contradictions in our community, but that dynamic of when you say a bad brother, bad sister, you know what I'm saying? The conversation, the look. It was encompassing everything. And it upped the ante that, it wasn't just this personal, from your viewpoint, where the world was able to see, man, the images. And it wasn't this subjective, where I see this person. With like images like in Somalia, when you that image of the sister holding the baby in one hand, and the rifle in the other hand, and how beautiful in context of, and simultaneously. Not in the abstract. Some people, and to deal with the real world, it makes even the scars and even the cuts look different. Because I remember this one sister. She's one real one. The green grass. The real rose colored lenses. And we was riding through California, and we was going past this slaughter yard, and you see all these cows packed in there in mud. You know what was happening to them. And I forgot what she said. How this is so beautiful. The animals. I say, that's what you see. The part, but it was I said, that's what you see. You don't see the slaughterhouse going down, and it was this whole abstract of attempt to go against. You know what I'm saying? And many people they try to fight, and they say. Like certain the definition of beauty is not connected to tangible reality. The definition of strength is tied to some sort of state dynamic. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's never something that's tied to that precious entity that we talking about, self-determination. As Malcolm X said, even our mistakes belong to us. It's a dynamic, a climate. That, again, when people hear it, the terms we say, you know what I'm saying, it's phenomenal, you know, and especially those who could have been, according to their definition, seen as beautiful, intelligent, whatever. But this, hey, like I say, you have forces who could have been doctors or lawyers, and you know what I'm saying. Then again, they couldn't have been, not because of lack of talent. Because armed with this politics and principle, it sticks out because this state they seek out slaves, and there's an issue when you have the enslaved. I can't count how many times I've come in, and I'm like, damn, I'm moving late on Mother Comrade Cohen Jared's birthday, and Sunday that mail coming in, Sunday out of Cola, year after year, him sending her a birthday card. I can't count how many times I say, man, you know, I mean, and I say I've been unfortunate and fortunate to be held captive and have my name mentioned amongst cats like that. And I say fortunate. Unfortunate because of those conditions, but fortunate to know, man, just to get a letter out, just to get a mail, and to think, you know what I'm saying? And these are forces who, under the most intense conditions, keep us in the minds and hearts, you know what I'm saying, of the people. You know, of the people, and they, you know, politicize it, you know. We had to put this out in every opportunity.
For me, because I was the one who was always supporting Brothers Behind the Walls. At one time, I was writing 50 Brothers Behind the Walls at one time, a point in my life. And when I finally got locked up and thrown in solitary confinement, and I wrote to a few of the brothers, and they said, well, Mama Condi, you one of us now. It was a whole different kind of a thing. You know, I was used to being supported, and here I was in a position where I needed to be supported. It was very, very different. It took me more than 5 years to fight, but I did it, and I won.
We did it.
I'm not in a state of health, as you know, that I would have survived life, you know, like some of these other strong warriors. I wouldn't have made it if I'd have had.
That's one of the benefits. That's one of the benefits of Mama Condi. That's one of the benefits of a climate of a community and a structure and the spirit of steel sharpening steel and men and women sharpening men and women. Where, you know, one of us falls short of one area, so we either able to pick up, you know what I'm saying, tag team, you know, that's one of the benefits of that, because as individuals we doomed. That's what, you know what I'm saying, that those letters that come in at certain times, not only for the morale boost, but also the security question. You know what I'm saying, that they, you know what I'm saying, we are connected to a community, to a people, you know, and again, stop putting them the money to the side for Sundiata with this anticipated welcome back. We look for him to get back, you know, and these are.
I can't wait.
Yes,
So
man.
excited.
And these
And
are
I'm
so.
proud of you. Say that as well. I'm proud of you, Chairman Fred.
Well, man,
I'm proud of you.
I'm honored to.
I know your father is in our mentor, parentheses, heaven, close parentheses, smiling down at you and guiding you. And I'm proud of you. I really am. I'm really glad I got a chance to live long enough to see the cubs.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored and humbled. We appreciate and love you, and it's an honor to serve. I'm just, you know, I feel fortunate to, you know, some people may see some of the moves as being, you know, as trailblazing, but the deal is, in many cases, too, I'm fortunate to be able to walk in not the footsteps, but the Panther Paul steps. I have examples. I'm able to we're able to, you know what I'm saying, I tell people, I say, even with the battles on the set, the movie Judas and Black Messiah, I was able to look back as, you know, positions that Minister UEP Newton had assessed and took in regards to assessing, you know, summation, you know, summing up, you know, movies such as The Godfather, you know, Sweetback's Badass, certain templates, you know what I'm saying, because this is not a first run, you know what I'm saying. Of course, we got to be innovative and tweak certain dynamics, you know, but I just feel so fortunate, you know what I'm saying, to be able to, you know, go back and, you know, like even some of the struggles and how it's not popular, look at the struggles that a phenomenal organization had to take on, you know what I'm saying, you know, and also, you know, I mentioned I was held captive for under 9 years, but you think about this time with Sunday out at Coley. You think about this time with the Mumia Abu Jamal. You think about this time with so many, you know, our people, how long they held captive, and I remember countless occasions where, you know, that morale boost, and sometimes I think even survivor's remorse. You feel bad, you know, I can't go to rest. I gotta get some more coffee and get up and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 84 years old. I mean, Sunday out of Coley. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, these forces. And the brightest. I'm talking about. If those who've not been familiar with these forces, go read up on them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you check up. You know what I'm saying? And these are discussions we have to have. You know, put the picture of Sunday out of Coley up in your son's room. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned, I'm back to what you said earlier. This was a opportunity, like that. You know what I'm saying? None of us have to come out with the ideal family, ideal situations, but we have examples. You know, other communities, you know, they have people they look at. Oh, this is how I relate to. I mean, we don't have to suffice for this. This chitlins they give the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The individuals they give us, whether it be these Pied Pipers, or you know what I'm saying? It's a little research. Get your nails a little dirty. You start saying, wait a minute. I mean, once we was working on her case. She was locked up. It blew her mind. She was talking like this the first time it ever happened. And I didn't want to say nothing because the energy was so good there. But it blew her mind that my mother was locked up. She said, I didn't know. And people, man, they come in. And she said, they put this in. Like this, you talking about the time you did. This is, man, like they talk about in Nazi Germany, this is the last surviving generation they have from the gas chambers. We have forces who are alive, who are still. I mean, man. I mean, it's something to have to be. Taking into account what we're dealing with, to be alive is something. Then we're talking about, you know, saying those who are we seen in the coronavirus out in the community. We seen just the conditions in general. I mean, people. Our loved ones get locked up on a traffic ticket. You know what I'm saying? Get took out. To have these forces, just this. If Sunday, just his image alone. If you don't, man, believe me. This was no pictures. They take that flyer, make it a poster. Take freedom, make it a poster with those images. Believe me, it's transferable. The image it's inspiring, and the state know it. Just what I'm saying. Just to see some of these forces. It's certain. That's long. You be careful because you might overdose. You know what I'm saying? You start getting. You say, wait a minute, he did what? And people wonder why we're so protective about this legacy of the Black Panther Party. We don't play no games with it. No games with it. People want to come in and play this. This ain't no transient hotel. This ain't no 4 hour. This ain't no 4 hour fuck. This is a revolutionary organization that stood up on their own terms, that seized the time, that on an international level. And you think we're gonna let some others play some clown games with this shit? Man, you talking about the timing. No cell phones. No social media. You talking about, man, cases. You talking about directives. You talking about to get some commonality. And believe me, I know there's some struggles and contradictions. We can relate. But again, So you people talking about that you talking about the birds know when to go south. I'm talking about a climber man, free Huey. I'm through the world. You talking about, man, one no, you calls one, man, what the pigs vamped on such and such. One no, explain, what you mean vamped on? What happened? What was going on? Were they Capricorns? Were they Virgos? They go to church? One none of that. One none of that. You'll say, man, they vamped on who? What? The sister she corresponding with 50 brothers in prison. Who is that? Who is that dude you writing? One none of that. The ante was up. The line of demarcation was drawn. Who you with? The state of the people. The ante was upped. Wasn't no, man, this was that. This was that. This was that. This is a revolutionary organization, the Black Panther Party. Well, I'm over here on this side. I'm a such and such. It was the Black Panther, as there was a deputy minister of defense, our Prentice Bunchy Carter. When he stood up on that kind of case, he said, "Are we clear?" This is the Black Panther Party. Minister UEP New Defense Chairman Bobby said, it was a clarity. It was a clarity. One of America's policies is to create chaos and restore order. In the chaotic situation, it was a clarity. This is the pigs vamp. Man, was they bond? All this back and forth, you know what I'm saying? It was a clarity. The music. Man, you better say something. You better say something. You better say something. A relationship change. You better fake the funk. It was a clarity. It was a clarity. All the bourgeois tendencies, well, how you met with motherfuckers, the class contradiction. Cass acknowledged it and moved accordingly. We down on the countdown to 2 more minutes, y'all. Want to make sure y'all keep Sunday out of the cold on y'all minds and y'all hearts. Corresponds, you know what I'm saying? We anticipating the release of Sunday out of the cold. In the meantime, between time, put something to the side. Put something to the side so he can get that man to the side. So soon we say go, that's where it's going to. It's there. It's there. Put something to the side.
The link the brother sent you, could you send it to me in text, please?
Which one?
So I can't.
Okay,
I can't go on Facebook and get that link.
Which link, Mama Condi? Which link you told me? Which one?
You have, so you get my number.
Okay, the link. A minute ago, I said Quabbin. I said Brother Quabbin had mentioned the link. That's what you told me, that link. That's
yes, sir.
I got you. Okay, Quabbin, text me text me the link that you. Okay, I see right. Text that to me. Text that to me, and I'm gonna text that to you. I think I still got your. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Don't forget to remind me. Cause I tell you, after the radio show at the 8:30, my brain go whoop. Man, like I've been in a 15 round. I gotta take it in for a minute. So remind me tonight. Make sure I send that to you though. Yes, indeed. I'm so glad. I'm so glad and so appreciative that you called in. I'm so glad and appreciative that I'm gonna thank the people in advance for putting something to the side for Sunday out of Coley. Gonna thank them in advance for helping. We're gonna just welcome black to the community. You know, it should be. You see those images when they had those U.S. soldiers come back and all of it. Oh yeah, we know America don't care. You know, we know how America really get down. We know. You can go check the local VA hospital. You can go check any one of these homeless things out of America really treat them. We for real about ours, y'all. We for real about ours. We want to embrace them, welcome them back, man. We for real about us. This ain't no propaganda. This ain't no commercials. This real talk. We want to have something to welcome. This inspiring for future generations. We want that name Sunday out there, Coley, to be, man, so loud and clear, man. Even cats on man, welcome home, man, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Sunday out of Coley, you know what I'm saying? And again, Get those pictures and have those pictures, Sundiata, in your children's room. When they look up and see those images. Real talk, y'all. Real talk. It's been it's an honor. In spirit liberation, keep your heads up, eyes on the fist clenched. We say free Sundiata Cola, free Mumia Abu Jamal. In fact, we say what's the call, free them all. Keep the Roshettes and Cuban Keys, keep all of them on your minds and hearts. Brother Kenyatta, you do Marsha, if you can put the contact back, put the contact back up. Make sure we be consistent with the one prisoner, one contact. Everyone should at least have one contact, one prisoner, one contact that you correspond with. Again, not take for granted they're alive. Not take for granted they're alive. One prisoner, one contact was the call, free them all. Makandi, it's an honor. Make sure you don't forget to hit me later on. I'll forward that. Kwame to send that to me. I will forward that to you. So the comrade. Oh, also, Clinch Fist Cub, Black Panther Party Cub, and condolences to Jewel, who's with Death Row. That's her on Tupac song, singing. You know, yeah. I don't know. Our co-host Lady Rage, I don't know she got on yet though. You know, that was her roommate. You know what I'm saying? You know, and fellow, you know, label mate. You know what I'm saying? Jewel. Y'all pull up. You know, check out her voice. You know what I'm saying, man. A lot of people say her voice is like the West Coast. Could be like the West Coast Mary J. Blige or something. You know. Oh, I just seen in the comments when we talk about the up on Madison down 79th Street. Just remind me next week we get on top of that. Yeah, remind me. I just seen it just now. Forgive me, y'all. I thank all y'all for calling in the comments and texting in. Y'all again put the word next Wednesday. Live the May 13th. Don't forget what happened May 13th, 1985. Again, May 19th. I think we might be in Louisiana for Malcolm X's birthday. We'll keep y'all posted on that. Meantime, between time, keep y'all heads up, eyes on the fist clenched. Come right, what you got to take us out with Sundiata Coley. I don't have the ID number right here, but just in case he's still left, the mail, people say, well, should we write him? He's getting out. Still send those letters in. Still send those letters in. And hopefully, I mean, ideally, we'll be with some great news. I'll get up this air and I say, man, Terry, you didn't get the breaking news? He's touched down already. That would be beautiful news. Looking forward to it. Sundiata Coley, man. Phenomenal. Living legend. Hashtag it, y'all. Sundiata Coley. That image. And the grace your walls. What are you going to take us out with?